everyone, thanks for joining us on Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Gretchen.
And I'm Dave.
And today we are painting Warcry minis.
We are. Better than Peep Cake.
Your eyeball, monster.
No, well, next Thursday I will. I'll lie around in them. Focus on the joy that painting brings you.
Do those, whether it's with cool undertones or warm undertones. I was just gonna, I'm Gretchen.
I'm Dave.
And we'll see you at your friendly local game store. Thanks for joining us on Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Gretchen.
I'm Dave.
And happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
We're going to be painting monsters from Horrified from Ravensburger.
Horrified!
So it's going to get really spooky. And it's already a little spooky up in here because, Dave, you remember last time I said I would bring you a costume?
I have to try and wear this?
Yes. So as you can see, I have my co-host Dave, who has died. Dead Dave here.
Dead Dave, okay.
Who's licked one too many paintbrushes.
Oh. The paintbrush licker? Oh, what did I get? Boo. Nice.
So that's for you. That's
Excellent.
your costume.
Okay.
That's what happens when you lick the wrong paintbrush.
Okay. Boo, boo. Do I just have to, do I wear it like this?
Sure, if you can paint like that.
I can't.
That'd be really impressive.
I can't. And should I spill some paint? I don't always spill some paint, but when I do, it's on.
It's on white. That's
on
the
white.
extra challenge. That's the spooky part, Dave. Can you or can you not keep that shape?
I don't think I can. Let's see.
We'll find out. So, Horrified is a really fun game. We did a playthrough of it. You can find it on Game Trade Media's YouTube. Just type in Horrified playthrough and it'll pop up. But it centers around iconic monsters, cinema monsters. So all of the cinema, not cinnamon.
Cinnamon monsters?
Delicious.
Horrifying.
But so all of the minis that come with it are iconic movie monsters.
Cool. So we have Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein. We have the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the Wolfman, Dracula, and as I like to call him, the Fishman.
Creature. Creature.
Creature.
Nah.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, yep. And he's who I'm going to be painting today. Who are you going to paint?
I'm going to paint Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein.
Fantastic.
And I'm going to have a little twist on it. I'm going to paint them in a monochrome scheme.
Ooh.
So just black and white.
So you're going to get old school cinema.
Old school cinema, yep. Yeah, definitely. So they will hopefully look like they've just walked off the screen.
Fantastic.
Fingers crossed.
Hey to everyone who has joined us in the chat. Happy Halloween to all of you as well. We will announce later, not now, but we will announce the winner for Painting Happy Little Pumpkins on
Fantastic.
today's episode.
That'll be very cool. And up at the front, we have a painted pumpkin.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we have
Bye.
Johnny, the mighty Johnny, and look at that. Leona's been sipping of the alcoholic cider, and the other side of the switcher. No, just kidding.
We do have delicious cider, though. Thank you, Leona.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Yes, it is non-alcoholic. I can tell from here. So,
All right.
very cool. Okay.
Let's get started.
Yeah. That's. Just looking at his.
Gretchen,
Yes.
tell us about the playthrough.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like
so,
a bit more about the game.
Oh.
The playthrough itself was super fun. The game is you are trying to stop the monster or monsters, depending on how many you decide to have out, from basically killing everyone in your town. You have a monster problem in your town, and you gotta Scooby-Doo your way through it, man. You gotta get it done. Except they're all actual monsters and not people in masks.
Okay.
So you can choose which monster that you're going to be playing against, and you and the other players get to choose different people, like archetypes, I guess you could say. There's a professor, and there's a archaeologist, and a scientist. And you go through trying to collect items that you need to get rid of whatever is haunting your town.
Okay.
So we played against Dracula, I believe, and also the creature.
Right.
And you have to, there's a little bit of sleuthing involved, as you kind of have to figure out where they're hiding, where their lair is, and then you have to escape them, and then you have to save civilians. So
Okay.
it's multiple layers of horror movie fun.
Right. Nice.
And as you get towards the end, it kind of, everything starts falling into place, and it picks up really quickly, and you're trying to work with everyone at the table to defeat this monster.
Okay.
So towards the end, you start realizing that your abilities maybe help you do this one thing best. Like, I could get to places really quickly,
Right.
but I couldn't always have the tool I needed to defeat the monster. So I would get somewhere and I'd save someone and I'd bring back a tool and I'd try to give it to who needed to get it. And it's like a little bit of, it's just fun. It
Right.
it gets the ball rolling.
Okay. Did you have any, during the game, did you have any of those situations where you were just sitting there thinking, you people would all die in this movie? You would die. Straight up die.
I definitely, at one point, like, you can choose whether or not to help people.
Okay.
So there's definitely, in the playthrough, there were a few parts where you kind of had to choose, oh, do I just save this person right now? Or am I gonna leave them to defend themselves on their own, but for the sake of everyone in the town?
Okay.
So there's mild backstabbing.
So it's a mostly cooperative game.
Yes, it's a mostly cooperative game. You don't want your teammates to die.
Right.
But your end goal is all of the same. But sometimes, things happen.
Sometimes you can't turn around and go back for them.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
And all of the items that you get in the game, too, to help you defeat the monsters are from the movies as well. So you're going around and you're finding, there's flowers, there's wolfsbane, which I remember because I kept getting the daisy
Right.
in order. I was like, no, I need to defeat Dracula, but I'm picking flowers.
Okay.
And all of them have different levels of what they can do, and you have to have a little bit of everything in order to defeat your monster.
Right. Okay.
So,
That's cool.
yeah, overall, it's super
very
fun. Leona, do you remember when this comes out? If it is available? It's out. It's available in stores, Kat.
Cool. Yep.
So it's really fun to play, and the playthrough, you had multiple people and a few different ages as well. We did have a kid with us playing, so it's definitely something that the entire family can do together.
Excellent. Excellent. And speaking of family, you had Mike Webb, who's the head of marketing for Alliance.
Yes.
And it was his son, wasn't it?
It was his son. Yep.
Yep.
And his son was the sassy backstabber.
Right. Well,
I learned something that day, and it was that in a horror movie situation, he would survive.
okay, ready.
I might not, but he will.
Was he of the approach like, I don't have to be the fastest, I just have to be faster than you?
His approach was,
kind
we're
of thing?
gonna get stuff done, and if you're not gonna be on board with that, I might have to leave you behind for the
Right.
better of everyone.
Okay. Fantastic.
So it was fun. It was definitely a wild ride.
That is cool. That is very
And the
cool.
place we filmed it was awesome. We were at Famous Monster Pizza in Decatur, Indiana, and it is dedicated to horror movies, iconic horror movies,
Right.
classics, and the entire building is just coated in movie paraphernalia.
Right. That's awesome.
And the best garlic bread I've ever had in my life.
Wait, in the game or?
With each box of Horrified comes the Famous Monster Pizza. The
Is,
pizza was good.
is there a
Good.
coupon for like 10% off your garlic bread?
I wish. I would drive back out to Indiana for that garlic bread.
Nice.
It was that good.
If it was 10% off.
If it was 10% off, yeah.
Awesome. It's cool. I must admit, while I'm painting Frankenstein here, or Frankenstein's monster, I'm super tempted to break my monochrome scheme and give him a like a pastel shirt a la Miami Vice. He's got that kind of feel going on right now, right at the moment. But
Ooh, how many minis are in it? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. Oh, cool. Cool. So
The ones on the spinner are how they come. So they already have a color to them. And then ours have been primed.
Yep. And Kat, if you were to do them all in black and white, that should be a lot quicker too.
Should be quicker, but you could
Maybe.
just...
We'll find out. Okay.
I feel like you have an unfair advantage of experience.
Experience? Yeah. Like just general mini painting experience?
So not only do you have like an easier color palette, but you also just in general.
Right. Yep. Sometimes it can be easier. Sometimes it can be a little bit tougher.
I don't think it's actually easier.
I will admit that, like, when was it? It's probably about 10 or 15 years ago. I wanted to do a whole cowboy setup.
All right,
I was
old
gonna have
west.
it like an old west town, a whole bunch of cowboys and that sort of thing, and cattle and all that sort of stuff. And I was going to do it all in sepia and start from like a
Difficult.
dark, really dark brown all the
Yeah.
way through to almost white. And I mixed a whole bunch of colors. I had them all lined up, and then I painted probably 5 or 6 models, and then moved on to something else.
I just know from working, like just painting in general in black and white, I feel like, one, really good learning experience. So if any of you are like interested in learning things, I highly recommend it as just a learning thing. But I feel
Wait. Are you going to learn? I think so. Anyway, keep going. Keep going.
maybe, but. As far as doing everything in black and white in a painting kind of project, I feel like you have to be very aware of how shadows work.
Yep.
But not just in the whole concept of doing shadows, but also in the natural midtones.
Yeah.
Which sounds very obvious. But when you're actually doing the painting, you start to realize how much more attention to detail you really, really have to pay in order not to get something that's either too much contrast or too little contrast.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people get too hesitant.
Right.
And then they end up getting a much more muddled, not quite as crisp painting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree definitely. It can be tougher. I mean, when you're using colors to also provide tonal contrast, so like bright yellows and deep greens, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like what I might be doing now. Yeah.
Possibly, I hadn't even thought of that actually. But yeah, just like that, you can feel more relaxed about it. But when everything's just shades of gray, it's can be a little bit scarier.
Let's see. How can the swamp creature not have a green tinge? So his base is purple on here, and then in the one I'm doing him green because he's swamp creature. But he's been primed completely opaque, so there'd be no tinge at all. And if I chose different colors, if I wanted to paint him blue or purple or red or any other swamp color. I don't know other swamp colors other than green.
Right.
But if I wanted to, I could very easily.
Give me something else. Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be no problem with that.
Okay.
Who is Gretchen painting? Gretchen is painting the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Fishman.
I am painting the shape of water. I was really tempted to paint him blue, but I didn't.
Gretchen, look in your overhead, the skeleton
That's 'cause we're friends.
And then you dry brush like this.
Oh my god.
Listen, Dead Dave is doing his best.
Boo. And Spooky Dave over here.
And Spooky Dave is also doing his best.
Excellent. The fun thing about doing Frankenstein monster here as in black and white is that I originally was costumed for black and white to be fairly stark, so all of his clothing is dark and he's got that pale face and then dark hair, so it's going to be very quick to do, but might not look as interesting as if I'd used colors. So
We'll find out.
I'm gonna have to mess around with some of the tonal values.
Fun fact about the original Addams Family.
Yeah.
Shout out to my costume. It was actually all of the background stuff in the house was in pastels because in the original black and white, to have a bunch of grayscale things, none of it would have tonal difference.
Oh,
so almost everything in the original house was apparently in different shades of pastel, so that whenever they did it in black and white, all of the accents and furniture and stuff would pop.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. I did not know that. But I can definitely see it or understand it. Yeah, that's very cool.
Dave's painting. With Dave's painting, how can it not have a green tinge?
Oh, well, I won't be painting the Swamp Thing, but yes, you could do that. It's one of the things you could go back and do. Pardon?
Yeah, your mini was green.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about that green tinge of the show-through? There shouldn't be any show-through, really.
There's a little bit, I think, on his wife.
Little bit of that.
But that's just from poor basing. Not basing. Priming. I can speak words.
I can't believe you just threw Johnny under the bus like that.
I never said it was him who primed them. You put him under the bus.
One thing I will show you with this cool artwork here is, so they have this. All of the art still has a very black and white kind of feel to it, but obviously with a colorization.
Yes.
Sort of filter.
Feels like a revamped, recolorized version.
So I think doing something in this this green kind of look would be pretty sweet as well.
That'd be sweet. Or
this would
like
take a lot longer.
Kind of lighting, as if it was like the coming to life lightning kind of flashing against them.
Yep. Very much like on the Wolfman here. So, yeah. But I think that'd be a lot of fun too to mess around with.
And actually, I will say, make fun of Johnny's priming all you want, but the texture on here kind of makes it look like the grainy, old-timey TV.
Right. That's funny. Okay. So kind of what I'm doing at the moment is I'm going through and getting a base coat down on all of the areas. I'm starting with a kind of the darkest, maybe the darkest color I'm going to have in that area. So then I can go through and highlight up. There'll be a little bit of shading that I'll go back and do in certain areas, but I won't really know where they need to be until I get a good sense of it all.
Just gonna make him swampy.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to
Dave.
base these too.
What colors are you starting with?
What colors am I starting with, or?
Yeah.
Black, dark gray, not as dark gray, not as dark gray, and white. No, just kidding. I'm messing around with different colors, different grays from the Vallejo model color range. So I have the black. So no, that's dark gray, which is this one. German gray, which is one of the darkest grays they have, and then black there through to white. So then I'll basically just be going through and mixing in different shades here and there. One of the things I did with the black earlier to thin it down when I was painting the large surface, because I wanted to go on fairly quickly, was I got a little bit of the Citadel color contrast black Templar paint and was using that to thin it down rather than thinning it down with water. So it still has a very strong black
That's a good idea.
tone to it, but it flows a lot smoother than straight out of the pot.
I'm using contrast paints, and I have started off with contrast. There's a letter that's before that Y, but I don't know what it is.
It's an I.
Is it an I?
So
All
it's
right.
Eandon.
And yellow, and a plague bearer flesh green.
Cool. Yeah, that Plague Bearer Flesh Green is pretty cool. I like that one. But yeah, one of the other things that I've sort of thought about or talked about with some other folks who've asked about monochrome painting is how they could go through and work out what they needed to paint to do like a monochrome cowboy sort of Old West kind of feel. And it was basically look at the old photos from back in the day, or find some miniatures that you really like the look of, and you like their color scheme and their sort of tonal composition, and then make that photo black and white.
That's a really
and copy
good
from
idea.
that. So pretty easy to do on most phones nowadays. So you don't even need Photoshop. So you got that. So who would be your favorite classic
Favorite classic
horror monster?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. That's hard. I appreciate Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
I think that it was really fun. And I would probably really like Frankenstein's monster as, like, the favorite if I had not been forced to write several papers on that particular book
Okay.
during college. So I'm going to have to go with Dracula.
Okay.
He's a classic. He's a big bad. And if it weren't for Dracula, we wouldn't have so many fun spin-off Dracula series.
Right, like the Twilight series?
Not really the one I was aiming for, but okay.
It was up there. It was in your mind, wasn't it?
You know what?
Based on Dracula?
No. It was the Twilight series
vampires.
was based on a 50 Shades of Grey fan fiction
Oh, okay.
that she decided to get published.
All right, there we go.
That ended up being no, that was the opposite. Never mind. That's
Wait.
the opposite.
But 50 Shades of Grey
Twilight
was a fanfic?
Yes,
the
50
Twilight?
Shades of Grey was a fanfic of Twilight. This
Okay.
is how much Twilight trivia I know. Very little.
That's the extent of it.
I had the option to read the book in high school, and I didn't. I chose a different one for my summer reading project. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you date monsters?
Classic,
Yeah.
like classic monsters,
Yeah.
like the ones we've got from here. Probably, to be honest, probably the Invisible Man. I like the way that the Invisible Man sort of tale has been approached throughout history, I guess.
All right.
Where it's the initially people were like, oh, it's going to be fantastic to be invisible. I could sort of walk around and listen to what people are saying and spy on them and steal whatever I wanted, kind of thing. Consequence-free life, kind of thing. And it's like, it never is that. It is never, ever, ever that. So I think it's always interesting to see how
it pans out.
How it pans out for different, how it's presented in different ways, and but it's that same story. It never works out.
I feel like at this moment in time, I need to, like, someone at home who has access needs to pour one out for what could have been one of the best monster movies of all time, but wasn't. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
See, I was just going to mention that, following on from the Invisible Man.
It was so good,
Yep.
and then it didn't.
It did fall apart.
They switched directors, I believe, halfway through.
Oh, okay, radio.
And writers, I think. Also, there was some hullabaloo with the whole film.
Right.
Personally, I think that the idea, because I think it's from like comics or something.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's a comic. The idea of having it on film, great. Should have been a series.
Right.
Should have been a binge-worthy Netflix series.
Yeah.
So that you could really build up each character and try to figure out who's who from classic literature. And could have been so good.
Could have been great.
Could have been
Well, they
so
can
good.
still go back and do that, of course. But I mean, at the time when it was made, it wasn't. That wasn't an option, really. There was no Netflix streaming.
It could have still been a nice series.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Someone hook me up with some writers. And HBO, we got this. Cat. Why do I get the feeling that Dave is the only one in the room that remembers the Invisible Man? I remember the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen version of the Invisible Man.
Wait, what are you saying, Kat?
I know it's a book that I did not read. I read a lot of other books, but not that one.
I also enjoyed the Hollow Man, the Kevin Bacon version.
Okay.
Which was essentially, it's that same story. It's like, we're doing having this great scientific breakthrough. It's going to be amazing, and then he just descends into madness.
Johnny has a really good idea here.
Yeah.
Side note, by the way, if you want a really simple way to paint your Invisible Man miniature, just clip him off the base and play pretend.
Yes, that's great. I think when back when Lord of the Rings was released, the movie was released, and Games Workshop, not the book. I'm old, but
I just like how you had to clarify that it wasn't the book.
It wasn't the book. It was the movie. When the movie was released and Games Workshop started doing the strategy battle game, there was a promotional model that was Bilbo holding the ring, but it was in clear resin, which was pretty sweet.
That's cool.
But then there was another promotional model done, which was just a base with footprints in it.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's clever.
That was my favorite one. Definitely good.
The Mummy.
The Mummy?
Yeah, the Mummy, as people are saying their favorite.
Okay, yeah.
I really enjoyed the, I know it's like a remake of the original, but The Mummy with Ben Fraser.
All right, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely that's series.
Brendan, yeah.
Brendan Fraser, yeah.
That was, I think, one of the best horror movies without being so scary that little kid me wasn't able to actually enjoy it.
Yeah. I must admit, I never really thought of it as a horror movie.
Well, it might have been because I was just little when it came out.
Possibly.
The other ones, the sequels, I didn't find scary at all. The sequels, they picked up that kids liked it and they made it more kid-friendly.
Right, yeah. Like by putting a kid in as the main character of the second one?
Yeah, that might have been a thing.
Yeah.
Or, there was a cartoon based off the entire trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I did not know that.
Yeah, there was a Saturday morning cartoon.
So what about modern horror favorites?
Modern horror favorites.
Like if Horrified was to be done with modern,
I feel like there's not as
Classics, I
many
guess.
like modern classics. Are
But-
we there yet? Are
well,
we there
yeah,
yet?
we are. I think
I mean,
like
you'd get like what,
at-
Michael Myers.
you got Michael Myers, you've got Jason, you've got Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy. The thing from Saw,
Yep.
that little guy.
Yep. Chucky.
Chucky. Yeah, I heard the new Chucky took out all the supernatural elements and it made people sad.
Okay.
Which I think that's what made it scary. Like to me,
Yep.
when I watch scary things, if I find a way like around it, I'm no longer scared.
A way of explaining it.
Not even explaining it, but like if it's something I can fight. Like I can't
Oh, okay,
punch a
right.
ghost.
Sure.
I can try to punch a ghost, but it's probably not going to happen.
Well, there's another one. They're now like Poltergeist. The
Yeah,
Poltergeist
the
from
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Like I can punch a werewolf.
That one
But
specifically.
I can't punch a ghost.
Right.
So like if my logic is sound.
Yeah.
So if I'm watching something and I at least have a chance, I'm not as scared.
Right.
But if it's something where there's no chance, like whenever I was little, Freddy Krueger freaked me out a lot because the concept of there not being even a chance
Right.
to be able to fight back, that was scary.
Because you couldn't wake up.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
either couldn't wake up or even at the end, like you think that you've won against
Right.
him, but then it's not. Like,
Yep.
David says you got a chakra punch ghosts.
Nice.
I
Just
like
align
how
your-
everyone's
align your
just
energies.
I'm gonna learn to do that now, so I cannot be as scared.
Yep. Good call. Good call.
I just imagine a ghost movie now where, like, towards the end of the ghost movie, the main character is just like, lend me your strength. Everyone, send me your chakra.
Well, there are a couple of scenes in a Scary Movie, I think, where ghosts are,
Tangible for a moment.
well, they're certainly dealt with in a particular way. But, yeah, no, I get that. If you can't,
Yeah.
if there isn't an obvious way or a way to handle something.
I think
Of course, yeah, Michael Myers, you can just keep running.
my cardio's great.
forever.
I'd be good
Mine's
against
terrible.
Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I'd be solid.
I'd be faster than him. Which would mean I'd be able to stop and take a break and take a breath. And he'd still be walking.
Just keep it up. Just keep it up.
Just keep running. Keep running. You keep running.
A good Jersey Devil movie. Ooh, you are right.
Ooh.
Craig, yeah. I like that idea. I like cryptids. I call myself a cryptid all the time.
I think just recently, I say just recently, in the last 6 months, I saw there was an X-Files episode where he went and investigated
The Jersey Devil.
the Jersey Devil.
What about it? I love stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think also if we're talking about classic, I think the Pennywise the Clown is
Yeah.
definitely, whether or not you like the It movies, is I think the clown's becoming very classic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just by happenstance, by
Yeah.
remake fame.
Yeah. No, definitely. Oh, well, not even that. I think even without the remake, and I think it was Tim Curry who would have made that.
Anything Tim Curry touches turns to classic.
Yep.
And I think also the girl from The Ring,
All right. Yep.
Samara.
Samara. Yep.
Yeah, she would also. At least I feel like when I think of horror movie monsters per se, not just like
Yeah.
killers.
Yep.
Someone said Casper.
And you seen the new Geico commercial?
No.
There's a fantastic Geico commercial where it's this couple sitting on a couch. It's dark and it's sort of stormy outside, and they're about to watch a movie on their couch, and the woman says, "I can't believe it," and he goes, "What? That our house is haunted by Casper?" And Casper pops up and goes, "Hey guys, oh, you're about to watch a movie." Let me go get some snacks. It's fantastic. Yeah. You need to watch some TV tonight, then it's probably not going to run after Halloween.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's definitely good. A great callback.
All right, let's look at some minis.
Yep, let's do that. What do we have?
Ooh.
Oh,
Fight the horde.
excellent. No, it's sorry. Is the camera's higher?
I
It's
tried
larger?
my hand at making a painting video today.
Excellent. Yes, I did see that. I apologize, David. I didn't watch the video,
I did.
but Leona did, which is super cool.
I was making cupcakes.
You're making cupcakes? Cool. But yes, so I think definitely a very cool idea. How's that helping? Is that helping you?
Is it helping you, Dave?
It's helping me, yeah, for sure.
I can see.
Leona's moving our enormous monitor across the studio. Yeah, there we go. But no, I think David, you've chosen a great model to do that to get you sort of your first painting video underway. That skeleton's looking very cool, and I was going to say, fighting the horde, you always have hordes of skeletons. Very
Yeah,
rarely.
they don't just. It's not just a single.
It's not just
skeleton.
one.
It's not. Yeah.
Like Dead Dave here.
Well, he has friends behind him.
Oh, he does. Look
yeah,
at
Dead Dave has friends.
that. They would. But yeah, so I think yeah, definitely cool. But so everybody should go and check out Dave's painting video. Very cool. Okay, next up we have Steve. Steve is working on was it Throgar?
Throgar the
Chainbreaker.
Chainbreaker, an orc barbarian.
That is looking very cool. Yep, I'm liking the skin. It's looking very cool, very orky. Lovely
What
solid green.
qualifies as orky?
I don't know.
Is it
I
just
say
a
orky.
feeling?
It's a feeling. It's an essence.
Is it-
Yeah,
just-
green. Maybe brown occasionally. That ruddy brown if you're an Urukai.
All right.
But yeah, green, having that greenish tinge to it is definitely cool. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun when you get to that axe. Check out the axe on that. Huge! But yeah, looking good, Steve. Nice work in progress. Oh, Wyatt. Very nice. So Zombicide Ultimate Survivor Nelly. That's looking very cool.
She looks like she's an ultimate survivor.
Yep, she does. I love the work, particularly on the. Well, I love the interior of the cloak. That nice sort of cream color, because it's setting off those that armor on the legs really well. Yeah, looking great. Face is lovely too. Nice work, Wyatt. Good work all around. Oh,
Troller bears.
Troller bears, polar bears, trolls. These are from, I think these are from Privateer Press,
Ah,
from the Horde's Troll Bloods faction.
good textures.
Yeah, great textures there. And I think, just loving the way that blue of the troll skin is peeking out from the thing. So it almost looks like there are three bears, but just that little hint of blue is great. Nice work, Brian. Looking good. Oh, Bone Devil.
That's
looking
scary.
cool. Yeah, it is. It's completely scary. It's to be honest, it's the tail, I think.
I think that, yeah, the tail definitely, like, that's not like a for show tail.
No.
That's going to do some damage tail, and also a big enough tail to make her balance really, really good.
Yeah,
Tail.
yeah, definitely. It's yeah, I think it's the tail gets me because of aliens. It's
Yeah, that too.
there's a big connection there. You know exactly what that could do with the tail. But no, looking good,
As long
great.
as it doesn't have a mouth inside
Coming
of it,
in
I'm
nicely.
good.
Yeah. You mean as long as it's just a big
Tail
implanting
mouth.
a tail mouth? Ooh. Michael Ball,
Hey.
a spooky werewolf.
Ooh.
WizKids werewolf. And check out his YouTube video. That's linked from the post, I guess. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you head on to Painting Happy Little Minis Facebook group, you will see all of these minis. That's where we've pulled them from. And in the post where Michael has put put up this werewolf, there's a link to his YouTube video on him painting it. But yeah, it's looking nice. I'm liking the gray and brown kind of feel.
Very wolfy.
It is, yeah. But it's kind of that gray at the top moving through to brown. Nice.
Draws your eye.
Yep. Keeps it focused around that top there. It's nice.
Ooh.
Oh, Michael Bruce painting the lights on the containers. So these are sort of transport containers or shipping containers from Games Workshop, from the 40K range, and yeah, they're looking good. I've got a set of well, I've got 2 sets of these, but I'm still not sure what what color to paint them.
Get a color wheel.
Yep.
And spin it.
Okay. You can possibly do that. Or head down to the harbor and spend a bit of time watching cargo ships go past.
Or that, but...
Orange? You think like hazard orange?
Yeah.
I don't know. They might, because they're rounded, they might end up looking like pumpkins.
Oh, even better.
Even better? But yeah, no, I think they look good, Michael.
Oh, Craig
Nice work.
says that Bone Devil is meant to be the Grand Master from the Lost Laboratory of Qualish, found on dmsguild.com.
Excellent. Very cool.
I couldn't fit that.
No?
I couldn't fit that all.
Other caption? Try harder. No, all good. So the big bad from the 7 Deadly Sins, from the others.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
a face.
Yeah. So this is from the others from Come On. I backed this Kickstarter purely for miniatures in it that are like this. They have that fantastic, obviously Cthulhu
Oh yeah,
influence,
very
but-
Cthulhu, very Lovecraftian kind
Yep.
of. I like how he's done all of the warm colors on the back.
Right.
And then as it comes forward to the mouthy bits and the kind of the end tentacles there on the
Yep.
back of where his heel would be, I guess, it comes through with that kind of
through the blue.
with the blue, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the yellow there, yellow is obviously a warm color, but there's enough of a greenish tinge to it.
Oh yeah, it still
I think,
plays off very well.
Yeah, looking great, Dennis. Nice work. Oh, Robert is painted. Oh, from the Nuclear Sandlot range. This guy looks pretty relaxed.
He does look very relaxed.
Yeah, just chilling out.
Just
Sorry.
hanging out.
Sorry,
It's
dude.
cool.
Just going to have to shoot you. But yeah, nice job. And I like the work on the glasses as well. Looking very cool. Excellent. Thank you, Robert. Phil Sevier has been. So the Land Raider, which so in the top right photo is the place you can see it kind of the best. That's so that's the big tank. It's at the top of the photo there. That was an eBay rescue.
Oh, that's cool.
So he found a cool tank on eBay, purchased it, and refurbished it, I guess.
That's really cool.
Restored it. If it was a car, it'd be a restoration project. But yep, nice work there, Phil. It's always good when you can rescue abandoned minis.
You know, like a little barks, but for minis.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be great. Callie O'Malley has been having a lot of fun with different sets of different colors on the Glaive Wraith Stalkers from Age of Sigmar.
That's fun.
Yeah. So these are all ghosts. With bits of rats or Skaven, who are the
It kind
the
of
rat
looks like
men
I've been
kind of-
watching the Dark Crystal, and
Oh, right.
the face and the hunched over with all the fabric looks very much like the Skeksis.
Yeah. I think there's very definitely a Skeksis influence, without a doubt. But yeah, I think the variety is looking cool, and yeah, I'm really enjoying these. Nice work, Callie. Oh, Jody has been messing around with some different D&D minis. And look at that, we get a shot of the muscles.
The muscles.
Musculature. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. Musculature. On the back of that. That's like an ogre, orc. Orcish
Something like
ogre. I'm
that.
sure it has an orciness to it. I think it's the top knot that's throwing me. But yeah, that skin's looking really cool. I think one of my favorite things about that is that, so if you look at the texture on the skin, the texture on the furs, and the texture on the skulls, they're kind of three different approaches, which is great. Very nice, Jody. Great work. Oh, Fabrice is working on a new mini.
Ooh.
I think, did we have a work in progress of this last week? I think we might have, but
We might have.
yeah, it's looking really nice.
Do we remember from week to week?
Occasionally I do. Sometimes I forget. What did you say,
We
Leona?
try.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we had a work in progress of this last week, but yeah, I'm really loving the that bluish, the turquoisey blue, and with that gold sort of trim.
Turquoise blue is my favorite blue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm
interesting.
inherently biased.
Okay,
But-
fair enough. Yes, that's cool. But no, it's looking great, Fabrice.
It
Nice
looks
work.
good. Oh,
Oh.
hey!
Cool.
We
Eh?
painted these, didn't we? At one point in time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just before
Way
Christmas
back
last year.
when.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny because Fabrice and Blair play in the same D group with Rick.
Oh, hey!
So definitely cool. But yeah, looking good. So this is this was like the special edition miniature from the Hellboy Kickstarter from Mantic Games, which is available. Well, I don't think this model is available anymore, but the Hellboy game is available in store now, and there are a couple of expansions, I think. But yeah, looking good there, Blair. I think it's nice to have that sort of riot of color of gifts in the sort of spilling out of his sack there.
It's
looking
very
good.
nice.
With the skull.
With
Yeah,
the skull.
with the skulls. I mean, of course, there's
It's
always going to be
Hellboy.
skulls. It's Hellboy. So, but yeah, looking good. Nice work. Oh, Jan has been messing around with the Zombicide Baron.
Woohoo.
That's some wild concept art there, and I think you're doing a great job connecting your paint job to that. Yeah, looking really good. And I'm loving that the again, it's that focal point. That your eyes are being drawn to the face in the center, which is really nice. Good work. Hooray. Cool.
That's all for now?
Yep. We will have
Alright.
some more a little bit later. What's that?
So check back later.
Check back later. Don't go. Hang around. Always saying and talking. But yes. Yes. I think we were talking about sort of modern movie monsters and modern classics and that kind of thing. And then we were talking about some of the more recent ones like well, I guess Pennywise isn't super recent, but
It's more recent than Wolfman.
this is true. That's true. But I think there's okay. We've got you have the classics from the 30s and 40s,
Yeah.
and then I think there was the late 70s, early 80s.
The
There was
slasher age.
There was a big lot of
In
slasher.
the 80s, it was slasher, slasher, slasher.
Yeah.
And I feel like then in the 90s, it shifted more towards a little bit of the supernatural with like Buffy and Angel. You get a little bit more like the Craft kind of
Yep.
witchy things. And then all of a sudden Saw hit, and it was like, who can be the goriest?
Right.
Go. And now I think we're shifting back into more of the supernatural.
I don't know. I think
A little bit.
I think there was plenty of go with movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
and that kind of thing in the 80s. But yeah, I think you overall I think you're right. It has been an interesting to see the
rise and fall.
rise and fall of different kinds of horror movie bad guys, really.
Kat says, one of my daughters hates clowns, so I saw and copied the idea of Pennywise peeking out of the hallway attic door. It was great. I terrified my younger brother with Pennywise.
Yeah.
Without meaning to. I just teased him for like one day about it, but he told me the other day, he's almost 25 now.
Okay. Right.
And the other day, he actually, like, on talking about Halloween and remembering and reminiscing, he was like, "You scared me for years.
You made my life a hell.
For years, I was terrified of a clown." It's like, oh, whoops.
Like, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
Your big sister, what was I supposed to do?
It was in the contract, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I signed on to scare you. Yeah. But,
The other brother's nigh, like, unscarable. He's the chillest person I've ever met in my life.
right.
I feel like if I would have tried to scare the youngest brother, I'd be like, "Oh no, Pennywise the clown will eat you." And he'd be like, "All right."
Okay.
Like,
He's not going, dousing himself with some
I'd be
hot
like,
sauce.
Dare him. I dare him right now.
Awesome. That would be good. Tell you, the sculpting on this face is really cool. It's a lovely, not blank expression, but not far from blank expression. But he's got that nice sort of the sunken eyes, the sunken cheeks.
He's doing his
It
best.
looks great.
As you do when you are a scary monster.
And be a construct of
Yes.
a completely artificial construct. There we go.
Frankenstein's monster has always done his best.
He has. He has.
I'd like at least one version of the story where he actually gets like some kind of a happy ending.
Right.
But that's the point.
I know it's the point. It doesn't mean I don't long for it.
Well, maybe.
Leon over here, Frankenstein never gets a happy ending. Never.
What about Hotel Transylvania?
Oh, there. Well,
It's not unhappy.
there you go. There you go.
Okay. So here's.
Allowable. Leona has
Oh.
spoken. That's allowed.
There we go. It's kind of funny because we have a lot of lights at the front, and the lights shining up, sort of underneath him.
Yeah.
Just really add to that, I think. So it's going to look completely different when I put him on the spinner, but yeah, I think that's pretty neat. I like it. I'll quickly paint the base black and move on to the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, you can't leave him without a wife.
Yeah.
He's suffered enough.
He has.
My favorite part, so the reason I had to write so many papers about Frankenstein
Yeah.
was because I had a teacher
Yep.
in college, a professor, who that was her thesis, was all on Frankenstein's
Oh, okay.
monster. And she taught several of my classes.
All right,
And
okay.
every single class, I had to do a paper that pertained to Frankenstein.
Right.
So to combat this, I would write a paper for every class that she made me write a Frankenstein paper. I would also somehow tie in Jurassic Park. Because
Okay.
there's a ton of overlapping themes. It's really easy. And at first she was kind of upset, but after like the third time I had her class,
Yeah.
she was just like, well, here we are.
Let me guess what we're going to get from Gretchen today.
I Frankenstein, is that the one that has Sean Bean in it?
Where he doesn't die?
Well, he
Just
kind
kidding,
of
it's Sean Bean, he always
kind
does.
of I say, it depends on your exact definition of death.
This is true.
Because I have watched some of those, and it has been super fun so far.
Okay.
Um,
Aaron Eckhart. I can kind of see how you mistook him.
no, it's the same. Sean Bean's the guy who dies all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in some
He's
kind
in
of
it as well?
Frankenstein. I don't know if it's I Frankenstein now, but there is a show that has to deal with Frankenstein
Okay.
that he is in.
All right. I did don't know.
I will. I might mistake the title, but I will not mistake
The actor.
any kind of actor
Nice.
that was ever in Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Just for a second, I'm going to switch him out.
Sarah says, I like scary movies, but not gory movies. I'm back and forth on my gore. If
Right.
it's gore for gore's sake and it's not done in a clever way and they're just trying to like cop out of being smart
Right.
by using gore.
Frankenstein's Chronicles.
Frankenstein's Chronicles. There we go. That's the one. That's what I've seen. But I haven't seen I, Frankenstein. Now I'll have to look that up now.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, thank you. Oh, good.
Evil Dead 2.
Ooh.
I love it.
Sean Bean
See-
wasn't in that, was he? Okay.
He's just in every. We're just gonna start telling you that he's in everything.
Okay. Cool.
I just like that movie.
Yeah, that
Right.
for me isn't the same as gore for gore's sake. That's being campy about it. Like the
Oh,
Evil
that was-
Dead series are like purposefully being campy, and that's
That
a
was all
different
camp.
genre. That's a completely. But like some of the Saw films, I start to get like I'm like,
I love the sound of the hand
the
in the
hand.
Evil Dead movies.
Oh, in the Evil Dead movie, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's like. I don't know.
Yep. I think one of the things with the Saw films is that it's after the first one, they're all essentially the same.
Yeah.
It's somebody's done something wrong and they need to think about it, and they need to think about it really quick. Otherwise, everybody's going to die in a
Well, and
horrific
some
way.
of them
It's
weren't
basically-
even like people who have done things wrong, like which made it to me. I was like, now, because in the later on ones, they start to get a little bit loose with that kind of
Sure.
concept,
Yep.
and then it ruins it for me because I'm like, no, he had motive, and now he doesn't have any motive, which goes against the character development.
Right.
This would never hold on an episode of CSI. Criminal Minds would tear this apart. I, Frankenstein is where he is immortal with gargoyles and devils. That sounds really fun. Okay, I'm about that.
Excellent. Okay, I'm not sure if I should do it, but I will anyway. I'm going to raise the use the word raise, which might be appropriate in this situation. But I'm going to talk about the mountain in Game of Thrones,
Yes.
who was kind of resurrected in fantasy, Frankenstein's monsters kind of style.
Yes.
So, how do folks feel about that kind of sort of thing? I'm not sure if I can't remember if he showed up. I think he showed up in season 6.
I think it all depends on how you do something
5
with
or 6.
resurrection
Right.
and how you deal with the. Like, I think it depends a lot on your previous characters, and the kind of fantasy realm that you're in. Like, how often does this happen?
Right.
How much is resurrected? Is this an expected thing? Is your friend a necromancer?
Right.
Like, I think that all kind of plays into it story-wise with
I
how.
think because we already had the Lady of Light, like, we already knew she did weird stuff with bringing things back to life.
Right.
To me, it fit.
But this wasn't it wasn't like a resurrection spell.
Really?
Or it wasn't asking the Lord of Light to bring him back.
Oh.
It was let's
Saw
stitch
him
up his
together.
wounds and fill him
Yeah.
full of strange potions and concoctions and
Okay.
We'll see what works.
spin a brass thing and fingers crossed. So, for me, it was a kind of a strange thing. I think had it been like, quick, let's bring in that priest of the Lord of Light, and that would have made sense to me.
It's been
Strangely
so long
enough.
since I've seen it
Yeah.
that I forgot.
No, that's fair enough.
I remember thinking it was super lame that he killed Oberon.
All right. I didn't think that was super lame. I thought it was great. I mean, I was disappointed. It's not what I wanted to happen. But it was, I think it was very much in keeping
So-
with the Game of Thrones ethos,
So like
which
I
is...
thought it was lame that the mountain got to come back, but like Oberon didn't.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought was lame.
Well, you got to bring back the winner, right? Oh, yeah, you're right. We should have brought back the guy who got second place.
Sarah, you're so right. Also loved Van Helsing, but that might have just been Hugh Jackman. I loved Van Helsing all the way up until like 3 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
I stopped loving Van Helsing as soon as they took the main girl character and Mufasa'd her into the sky. And all the way up until that point, I think it's a perfectly okay, actually pretty good movie. Like up until that point, I am golden. I'm like, this is good. This is excellent. This could have a sequel, and I would love it. And then she Mufasa'd into the clouds.
I don't remember that bit.
That's because it should never have happened, and no one should ever remember it. No one should have to look at that.
Right.
And that killed it for me. I was like, nope, the cheese became the wrong flavor.
Right. It was a very cheesy film.
It was the right kind of cheese until that moment, though.
Right.
Yes.
You've been told. All good.
It was my kind of cheese.
Yep. There we go. I will take this moment to recommend Eli. I mentioned it last week,
You did.
but I'll go back and recommend people check it out again. It's nothing to do with Van Helsing, but it does have one of my favorite things for horror films, which is creepy house.
Is that a genre in itself?
I think it could be. It probably is.
Like, what qualifies, though,
As a creepy
house?
One where the house is a
Is it its own, like, malevolent, like...
yeah, it's where, I mean, you might have ghosts in the house, but if the ghosts can't appear outside of the house, they're part of the house. And it's one of those
Okay,
things, like,
so-
one of the ways to deal with it is to leave the house.
So you just like the easy out. Like, you're like...
But nobody ever takes it. There's always, you look and you go, well, you just leave, right? You just give up. You put all your stuff back in the U-Haul and drive off. But nobody ever does that.
I mean, realistically, though, if you had just bought a house
Exactly.
and there were, like, slightly strange occurrences happening...
Happening to somebody else who
Yes.
you always thought was a little bit wacky, like
Usually
your
that's the wife.
Then yeah, sure.
I'm going to find your wife on Facebook and show her this clip.
You should. She would
Like,
love it. Love it, love
Dave
it, love it.
will not believe you if you are being haunted.
Well, I will admit that I thought for a little while, probably the first 3 or 4 years after we moved into our house, that it was haunted. Occasionally we'd hear sounds of somebody like running down the hallway upstairs. And we have a very short hallway. It's not very long at all.
That's why I keep cats.
And occasionally we'd see there'd be like a shadow or a silhouette that was reminiscent of a person.
That's fun.
So I'm pretty sure that our house at some stage has been haunted by like a 7-year-old boy.
That's really fun. Yeah,
Fun,
it's
well,
fun. That's a good time.
The only
That's a
time,
good time.
the only time I really got worried about it is when we moved my daughter into that room at the end of the hall.
I have had multiple
The one where
spooky
the door shuts by
experiences,
itself.
but like the Cajun
Pulling our leg.
No, seriously.
the Cajun version, like My mother would always just be like, you don't talk about spooky things because that just gives them power.
Oh, okay, right.
So like anytime anything scary would happen, and I'd be like, Ma, I think she'd be like, it's angels.
Right.
And I'm like, look, I don't think it's angels, Mom.
It's not angels, Ma.
She'd be like, it's angels. Like,
It's not angels, Ma.
the blood could be seeping from the wall.
Just an angel.
It's just angels. It's fine.
Stop screaming. Just an angel.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's just how I can remember one time. Scariest thing I could think of, like, recently that's ever happened, though, is a few years ago when I had first moved into my own apartment, like out of my parents' house into my own apartment. My dog and my cat started freaking out, like out my window, like they would start, or like in empty hallways or something, and it would always be both of them, and it would never fully make sense why they were just like suddenly staring at nothing, freaking out. Because like with cats, it's normal.
Yeah.
But with dogs, it gets a little weirder, and my animals aren't normally in cahoots unless they're getting into like the trash can. So I was like, and for a while, like it was perfect. I was just like, I can ignore this. And then they both started to do it at night outside my window, and my window faces the woods. And so I would like wake up, and then I'd look outside to see if there was like anything outside that they could be both upset at, or like, right? Like it's one thing if the dog's just like squirrel, but it's like the dog and the cat growling. And so I would look out, and there would be absolutely nothing, and that scared me more than if there could have been a man with a chainsaw outside, and I'd be like, good to know. But the fact that there was no one scared me even more. And then to top it off, like the worst part of this whole ordeal, that was like, I gotta move. I was out walking my dog, and the neighborhood kids loved my dog. And so they would ask to pet him all the time, and they would come up. So they knew us. And I was apparently the only young adult at like 18, 19 who lived in that complex. So one day, like after this has been going on for a while, I'm out walking my dog, and one of the kids comes up, and they're like, I want to pet your dog. And I'm like, okay. And the kid goes, hey, Miss Settle. And I'm like, yeah, child? And the kid goes, I just want to ask you something. It's a little weird. And I'm like, okay. That can go so many ways. Yep. Small 7-year-old child, please. And I'm thinking, like, what's your favorite dinosaur? Or, like, I found a rock. Like, 7-year-old things. And instead, he goes, what do you know about the man in the woods? The woods, my window face. And I was like, awesome. What do you mean? And he's like, none of the adults can see him, so I was hoping maybe you could, since you're young. And I was like, oh.
That's funny.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm going to call the police and buy some curtains. Bye! And then I moved, and I never had to worry about it. So, not my problem.
You were smart.
That's funny.
I moved. I left the house.
I was so certain that you weren't going to say to your pets, what's going on? What's happening out there? And they'd go, ruff. It's an angel. It's an angel.
That's what I should have told the kid. I should have been like, it's an angel.
What do you know about the man in the woods? He's an angel.
I didn't even, like, I should have asked more questions, but other than, like, generally being like, I don't know, have you told your parents? And then the kid being like, old people can't see him. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm old. At like 19. I was just like, yes!
Someone said it's the Jersey Devil.
Yep. Definitely. That's funny. It's an angel. Telling you. Sweet.
So yeah, that's my spooky story. I have other spooky stories, but that's my favorite one. Because I noped out of that real quick. Eat the children! Run away!
Wait, Marcel, come back. Come back. Why are you running so fast?
Gotta bounce.
Gotta blast.
I was just. What else do you do? Throw some salt at the window and call it a day.
Awesome.
A lot of people were talking about Monster House. Monster House was really good. I wasn't expecting for it to actually be pretty good, but then it was, and I was pleasantly surprised because I feel like we need more like scary without being too scary movies. Spooky.
Okay.
That's
Spooky?
like we need more spooky movies.
Okay.
Monster House, I feel like, is a very good, like, Mike, all the best stories end with, and then I moved. Yeah, because do I look like the Scooby Gang? No.
You're Bella with her glasses on.
Don't say none of this. You stop that. I would like, every time I've ever watched, what is it? That prank show that they used to have where they would scare people and they would try to trick them that like Bigfoot or werewolves or something was real.
Okay.
I
don't know. Was it Punked?
No, it wasn't. It was before Punked. It was,
You're on candid camera?
no.
There's one
Someone
for you,
has to know
Kat.
what I'm talking about. I didn't just fever dream it. But it's on Netflix right now. And it was
Kids
like
say the darndest things.
terrifying.
Nope. Okay.
But they would go and they would try to scare people, and then they'd be like, "Are you scared right now?" And they'd be like, "Yes." And they'd be like, "Don't be, because you're on whatever the show
Candid
was."
camera. I'm telling you.
It was the spooky version of that.
Okay. You're on spooky candid camera.
Pitch it to Netflix. Let's go.
Right. Yes.
Me and you, Dave.
We have the programming sorted for the next 20 years.
But yeah, like I wouldn't be able to be on that show because I would not want to be dealing with it. They'd be like, "Oh
Too
man, there's vampires," and I'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna fight one. We're getting out of this because I am not dealing." "Are you scared?" "No, I'm mad."
Man, I'm angry.
No, it wasn't Fear Factor. Is it Fear Factor? I thought Fear Factor was whenever you ate weird things and they made you do like
Yep.
scary like things. Scare tactics. Yes, Leona saving the day.
Someone on Facebook.
Oh yeah, Jason.
Good work.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, that wouldn't
No.
work for me. I just get too matter of fact in all scary situations. I'm like, really? We have
Right.
to deal with this now? I don't want to deal with this. My friend got a Ouija board out, and I was like, I don't want to get possessed today. I have to do my homework.
I've got things to do. Things to do.
Like, unless that ghost is gonna get a move on, like, is it gonna help me clean my house and do my laundry? No, it's gonna make the walls bleed, and who has to clean that?
I have to clean it? No.
My mom would
I
be
get
so mad if I got
the spooky
possessed.
7-year-old kid in the back bedroom.
You give him chores. He's 7. He's old enough.
Yep. For
Dead
sure.
or not.
I imagine your daughter has become friends with this ghost now.
How cool would that be?
And she just doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, he's my
That'd be
he's a
awesome.
good friend.
See, my brother had an imaginary friend that he called Jimmy, who was like creepy sounding and would only show up at night. And one time, this was while I was away at college, by the way. I wasn't home to deal with this nonsense. And he called me up and I was talking to him, and he was like 8 at the time. And I was like, I don't like Jimmy. And he's like, Jimmy says he's going to bring his friends. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not home for this angel party.
Yeah. Angel.
I'm not about it. I went home to visit and I just like chucked salt at my brother. I was like, this is, I got finals next week. I can't can't do this.
It's an angel.
It's just
Just angels.
when my niece would laugh at nothing, my mom would be like, she's laughing at angels.
I'm laughing at angels. Yep.
It's like, that's, okay.
I must admit, I'm going to use that all the time now.
Anytime anything scary happens,
Not even
it's
scary.
angels. It's angels.
Just like, what was that? Angels.
I blame my cat. I could hear like a scary noise in the middle of the night, like a little music box I've never owned, and I could like hear that in the distance and some like chains rattling and someone going, Gretchen, and I'd be like, man, the cat is so weird
The
tonight.
cat is really selling it.
Bye, cat. Cat has to go.
Oh, bye, cat.
Oh, bye, cat.
Speaking of cats. Bye, cat. Have fun. Say hi to Mel. Okay. I have to reach over and pick out another character soon. Oh, how's it looking?
So I'm getting all of these shadowy bits going, and then I'm going to go back, and then I am going to kind of do some brushwork to get more of that. Oh, am I supposed to move it anywhere in particular?
No.
Nope.
Someone said, is that Kurt sitting between you? Kurt's dead.
It's definitely not Rick. Rick was big boned.
You want to put it on the close cam?
Sure, I can do that. Here.
Yep.
Spinner?
Oh,
Oh,
the spin-
spinner.
oh, here. Oh,
Yep. Oh.
he's been dethroned.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm going through, I'm picking out a bunch of little details I want to keep, and then I'm doing a little bit of dry brush work to kind of get that not quite airbrushy look.
Like, you mean getting that, like blending it back in?
Yeah, I'm blending it back in,
Right.
and then I'm going to go back through with a different green and then over it once more with the Plague Bearer to kind of blend everything. But I wanted to pick out a lot of the scaly details to try to just give it that super gross swamp man vibe.
Awesome.
Because, you know, that is what he be.
Yep.
And then hopefully at the end, I can go back. I have a kind of orangey yellow in his eyes, and then I'm going to go back with the super light yellows and make them look as if they're super shiny in the dark, kind
Right.
of
Nice.
reflective.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
We'll see what happens. Jason says, fun fact, recommended age for Hasbro Ouija board is like 8 and older.
Oh,
That's fun.
another fun fact.
Do that.
The Ouija board was invented in Baltimore.
That's a fun fact I didn't
Yeah.
know. That makes so much sense, but okay.
Yep. Used to be made downtown. They had a factory and everything.
I could see a lot of
And-
people not liking that.
On Friday evenings, you can actually hold a seance and talk to the folks who used to make them. That's last bit's not true. Not true at all.
Is that what you do on your Friday evenings? just do a
Temp-
seance to board game designers past.
Tempting though it is.
I like that. It's a new show.
Telling you, Dave and I, we're gonna be the next spooky Ghostbusters.
You'll be able to talk to the guy on the Monopoly box, the other one with the monocle and the top hat.
Make it
and talk to
happen.
him. One of like Mr. Parker, I think his name is. Okay, so there we go.
Nice.
I picked the two easy ones, really, didn't I?
You did, but that's okay. I forgive you.
I like her dress.
Yeah.
I like the shadows you created.
I kind of, I probably could spend another sort of half an hour to an hour on it because just the white needs quite a bit of building up. But I think it looks
Gotcha.
all right. It's great contrast with that hair. That sculpted hair is fantastic. Looks really good.
The sculpts are really nice.
Yeah. So
They're
who should
very
I do
crisp.
next? The Invisible Man?
Since you like him so much.
Yeah. Well, right. Since you like him so much, Dave, why don't you do him? Okay, I will. I think it's great that he wears a cravat underneath his bathrobe.
Sometimes you just gotta.
Really, the point it was like, oh, is that his hand? No, oh, that's right. He's invisible. He doesn't have hands. So.
He's doing his best.
Yeah. I'm go for a mid-gray for the smoking jacket. I'm sure it's supposed to be a smoking jacket. It really has that bathrobe vibe.
Maybe he turns invisible because he didn't like being bullied for his fashion sense anymore.
You saying I should give him a break?
Yeah, be
Okay.
nice.
My apologies. Sorry,
So
Invisible
mean.
Man. He might actually be in the studio right now.
Jason, kind of love those minis. They're good minis.
They're great. Yep.
They're good minis. The game's really fun. The minis are really cool. Like, I would display them out. I would bring them out for Halloween and
Oh, yeah.
do like a little haunted house scene. That would be great.
Like a little Halloween nativity scene.
I would do that. I was
Cool.
really tempted to make a haunted gingerbread house this year.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
The only rush home.
Except instead of being gingerbread, it should be like a pumpkin spice
Ooh, that's a really good idea.
house. Yeah. You don't want to jump the gun on Christmas.
You could always make a Halloween gingerbread house for Christmas.
Ooh, usually I do dinosaur stuff
Yes,
every
Dave.
year.
I don't get it, Leona. Too many holidays together.
It could work.
Hmm?
It could work.
It could work?
We get rid of all the holidays and we just celebrate the alpha holiday. And then we make it spooky and Christmas and
Right.
everything that you eat all in one go.
Okay. Roll them all into one.
It'll be fine. It's
Yeah.
good.
I am looking forward to Thanksgiving. Now
Thanksgiving
that you mentioned eating all the food.
Is delicious. The holidays are the only. I love the holidays so much.
Yeah.
No matter which ones they are, because I hate the cold.
Right, okay.
And I'm a super social person, so once it gets dark and cold and miserable, I'm just like, yeah. So the holidays are my excuse to be like, happiness, sunshine, people.
People and food. Let's all gather around this stove.
That sounds a little scary. That sounds like you're gonna cook them.
Sorry.
Gather around the stove, friends. Nothing nefarious going on here.
That oven is enormous, David. Yes, just lean in a little further. When we talk about gingerbread houses.
True.
And of course, that leads me on a beautiful segue there through to the Hansel and Gretel, the movie with Jeremy Renner
Oh yeah.
and who played Gretel. But yeah,
I like how no one can
there's
remember anything.
It's another example of like the Van Helsing kind of
I like
thing.
that one. I love movies that are campy enough to enjoy, just serious enough to not be too much camp, but you can definitely tell the entire budget went to costuming. That's my kind of film.
Excellent.
Spot on.
Yep.
War on Christmas. Listen, okay, I do not do any kind of Christmas celebratory anything until after Thanksgiving.
Right.
After Thanksgiving, it's
Yep.
Christmas time. But
all on.
until Thanksgiving has ended,
Yep. I'm
Nope.
with you on that.
I'll do Christmas shopping so I don't blow budget, but that's it.
Right.
It is not with mirth in my heart that I do it.
By the way,
Oh,
By the way,
sorry, my mic is all. Never mind. I have the name of the actress, Gemma Ayrton.
Adderton?
Yeah.
Okay, Gemma Adderton was played opposite Jeremy Renner in Hansel and Gretel. Witch Hunters, was it?
I think it was.
It's kind of like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
So
glorious,
wonderful.
glorious mashups.
As they should be.
Just when you think everybody's out of ideas.
They are.
Just when you think it couldn't get any worse.
Yeah.
It does.
Yay.
Hey, Rad.
Oh.
Nice to join us.
Is that Captain Rad? Captain Rad Olgren?
Yes, it is.
Cool. So, this one I've started with the with some mid and light grays. So I can do something, mess around, something a little bit different. I think I'm going to on his robe, the collar, cuffs, and belt. I'm going to make those a little bit darker,
All right.
just to, again, switch things up a little bit. Because I made that foolish decision at the start of the show not to use any color.
Yeah, I've been having fun with the green, and you know
Yeah.
what? I haven't even spilt it yet.
Super excited. I was going to say, because you closed it up. Oh, no, it's still open.
No, 'cause- Listen,
Excellent.
this might be a spooky episode, but we
All
don't
right.
show fear.
Right.
Want to look at some minis?
Sure,
Yes.
let's look at some more minis. And when we get back, I'll announce the Painting Pumpkins winner.
Oh, cool. Nice. I gotta say, when we get back, like we're leaving, we stay in that top corner of the screen. See? Look at it. There we are up there. Cool. Excellent. So first up, we've got Jason Sutton with the Knowles' Fire Giant. This is looking really cool.
That is.
Yep. I'm liking the armor. And
I
think-
like the vibrancy of the hair.
Yeah, yeah. That's it's doing a great job of framing that face, which is nice. I love that gold belt as well. It's looking good. It's a pretty big model, isn't it? It's probably
It
about
is.
this tall.
Yeah.
Pardon me. That looking good, Jason. Very cool. Oh, Tim Colonna. The Cavor have been released. This is for Tim's 15 mil. 6 mil sci-fi game. Which is looking great. But yeah, those crazy suits. They look awesome. There's something very Fifth Element about them. They've got that
Yeah, they do.
kind of crazy suit. A mix between that and Terminators from 40K. But yeah, looking nice, Tim. Nice painting too. Good work. Oh, Cindy Heaton. Zombicide Snow White. And the Rust Monster.
Ooh.
I'm loving both of these. I think the Rust Monster looks great. But I really like the butterflies.
They're
On this-
very. I like the shift in color on the blue one,
Right,
so it
yeah,
actually
yeah.
kind of looks shimmery.
Yep. I think that it's great that the butterflies still want to land on her, even though she's a zombie.
Well, did you know butterflies can actually drink blood?
I did not.
Yes, you'll
I will be
find
killing
them.
more butterflies from now on.
They won't drink your blood, but
Oh, okay.
dying and decaying
Right, why is
things.
that? It's because I'm Australian?
Well, it's because you're not dead.
Oh, okay, right.
Well, you're a ghost.
Okay.
They might drink your.
Then I am now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But yeah, if you go to like streams or something like that and you see dead fish,
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of times butterflies will land on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And drink the
They-
blood
they-
from the
they do
corpses.
yeah, they'll do. Well, it's like
Let's make it
blood
sound as
and-
metal as possible.
They'll do the whole.
Blood from the corpses.
They'll do the blood thing and the decaying juices thing.
Right.
I'm sure there's more sciencey things behind that, but that's the extent of my entomology
Right. Excellent.
knowledge.
Very cool. But these are looking great, Cindy. Very nice. I think your the contrast that you're getting, the tonal contrast, and also particularly on the Snow White there, the color contrast are looking great. Good work. Oh, Joshua's painting up more Minotaurs.
Got him a buddy.
Everybody, yeah. So I painted up the standard bearer last week before, but yeah, this musician's looking great, and I love that all of the trinkets on his around his belt and that kind of necklace thing going on. They're all sort of different colors, so they're all sort of picked up from somewhere, different places.
But none of
times.
them, I feel like, outshine the other. They all still look very natural.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, you're right. I think it looks great. Nice work, and that horn looks awesome. Very cool. Good work, Josh. Oh, check that out.
Oh, blue ring octopus.
Yeah. I was almost bitten by a blue ring octopus once.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
I
Well,
grew
you
up-
are Australian.
Yeah, I am Australian. I grew up on a, not on a lake, but next to a lake in Australia, and they had blue-ringed octopuses in the lake. So,
What? How did they get in the lake? Isn't that fresh water?
no, the lake, and the lake had fresh water running into it, but it also was open to the.
So is it truly a
sea.
lake?
It was.
then,
It
if
was.
it's
It
open
was
to
more
the-
brackish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a lake. It was a tidal lake, which is kind of weird.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just
But yeah.
thinking like just an actual lake, like a pond. and
Like a
I'm
pond
thinking,
kind of
that's-
thing. No, this was big. This is a big lake, but it would get sharks in it occasionally.
That
They would
makes
swim
sense.
in
That
from the ocean.
brackish, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, but yeah, this looks fantastic. It's giving me flashbacks. Thanks, Dave. Move on. Next one, Chris Hood, Castrus Vile, evil mercenary. You can tell he's
I like the
evil.
beard.
It's in the name. Vile. It's an anagram of evil, just in case nobody spotted that. Evil. But no, looking really good. I'm really enjoying the armor and the axes there. Looking great. Nice work, Chris. Michael Gonzalez. So what are these? Night Stalkers for Kings of War Vanguard.
I'm liking the colors.
You love the colors?
Like the blue of the blue already looks kind of like softly glowing, and then the lime green
Yeah.
just really makes it pop.
Yeah. It's definitely, without a doubt, magical kind of thing.
And I feel like it's hard to use more neon-esque colors and color schemes and have them still retain any kind of spooky nature.
Right. Yeah. No, I think they're looking great. Doing very good, Michael. Very nice. Oliver Bowles is a new member and has posted up this is a Beastman chieftain. I'm not sure what they're called nowadays in Age of Sigmar, but yeah, I painted this model way back in the day, like in the probably late 90s, I think. It was a metal model. But yeah, loads of studs all over that armor there, that green armor. So that would have taken a long time to pick those out individually. But yeah, beautiful work there, Oliver. I think it looks great. And I like the edge highlighting there on the axes, looking very cool. The little red tinge at the end of the horns, contrasting against the green. Nice work.
And it gets picked up again in the hoofs.
Yep. Looking good. Very nice work, Oliver. Thanks for joining. Okay, Work in Progress Wednesday. Teddy is painting up. I'm going to guess that this is a WizKids model because there's some of the... Pardon?
I think so.
Yep, it's got some of the translucent spell effects there around the hand, which is looking very cool as it is. I'm not sure exactly what else Teddy's going to do to that, but...
I'm
look forward-
excited to find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it next week. Definitely cool. Oh, June is painting up. Learned about pinning. Yep, pinning can be important, particularly with metal models, but also if you have pieces that break off plastic models or resin models, pinning them back on. So that's drilling a hole into both sides of the piece and using a pin or like a paper clip or a brass rod or that kind of thing.
I'd be so afraid to break
Can
my
you do-
mini.
Fun?
I'd be afraid to break my mini.
Right. Well, basically, when you do it, the idea is to make it makes your mini stronger once it's all together.
You must break it in order
still-
to make it strong.
Yeah, pretty much. You clip things off. Pin. But no, looking good. Looking good there, June. Yeah, I'm excited to see you finish this one. Yeah. Michael Lim picking up some Warhammer Underworlds. Oh, this is I think it's one of the new warbands from Beastgrave, I think. The Beastman one, but it looks great. I want to see a close up, Michael, of the guy at the back with the sacrificial dagger on up in the air.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to see that, and because that skull on his staff looks really sweet too. But yeah, no, they look great, Michael. Nice work.
That's all.
Cool.
That's
Actually,
all.
can we go back to Michael's photo just for a second? I think in the background you can see a homemade wet palette.
Oh, hey.
So you got the tray with the purple sponge underneath and the paper on top. Nice work. Very cool. Thank you. Yay! And now, back to the Invisible Man. And look, he's done. Not even I'm that good. That sounded terrible, didn't it? So terrible. But yes, cool. So will you be going trick-or-treating this evening?
Well, I will not be.
No.
I don't have little people that I would trick or treat with. I don't know where my niece and nephew are gonna end up.
Right.
And I have swords practice tonight.
Okay.
Which I don't know if there's going to actually be a whole lot of us swordsing, but there's definitely going to be some fun shenanigans
okay.
afoot. So.
Cool. Excellent. I will be trick-or-treating because I enjoy the candy. And if anybody says you're too old, I'll say, I don't think so. I'm just old enough.
Don't you also have like kids that
Yes,
you can
yes,
extort
yes.
for candy?
Well, not extort, just tax.
My little brother, whenever he was still young enough to go trick or treating,
Yep.
was the sweetest kid ever. He would always come back and have candy specifically for me.
Nice.
And so normally I'd just be like, hey, whatever candy, because I like candies that kids don't always like. Like I like coconut flavored things and
Right.
that kind of stuff. So I'd be like, hey, since you don't like these, can I have them? Can you just put them aside? And he would always be the sweetest kid and like slip me some Reese's too.
Right. Nice.
He had to make sure I had some of the good stuff. I was like, aw,
Excellent.
what a good child.
That's funny. My daughters know that by now that if they don't sort of hand me all of their chocolate, that I will eventually eat it all anyway over the next month. But yeah. Oh, that's something. I don't think I mentioned it last week, but on Friday last week we had a Ghoul at the School event at my daughter's school.
I think you mean an angel.
Yeah,
It's
you
an
mean,
angel. I don't know how that became Italian, but yeah, we had Ghoul at the School. Ghoul at the School, which was like a fun Halloween candy games kind of themed event.
yeah.
Where also a fundraiser, but folks would come in and buy their tickets and then come out and play the games, pay a ticket to play the games. And somehow I got roped into running the powdered donut eat. I didn't even know what the station was called, but
Where they like string them up and you have to eat them?
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah,
I know what that
thank you.
Sorry for anyone at home that doesn't share our psychic connection, but
Yeah, so you have to string up the tiny powdered donuts, and people have to eat them without using their hands, which is incredible. It's a lot of fun watching like the 5 and 6 and 7-year-old kids try that, because they're trying in earnest to open their mouths wide enough to fit the powdered donut in. The kids who are in like 7th and 8th grade They're just like, oh,
They just snake it.
and then just like whip their head back to pull the string out of their mouth. It's like, that's like over in 2 seconds.
That's terrifying.
So we tried to get it so
Why
that
do you have snake people at your daughter's school?
it's very diverse.
Okay.
People from all sorts of supernatural cultures. They're angels. But no, there was a lot of fun. It was good, but it was kind of tough. There was tough to keep up with, like tying the donuts onto the strings and
So
setting
that
them
the
up.
Sneeple can,
Yeah.
the Sneeple children can unhinge their
Oh,
jaws.
the snake people, yeah. But yes, that was a lot of fun. It was good. Made the time go really quickly. I was doing that for 2 hours, and it felt like 20 minutes. Just an endless stream of little kids handing me tickets and eating donuts.
You should have just
Handed them the donut.
Yeah.
Well, there was a point, like, for everywhere else, like, as you went around, if you won the game or completed the task or whatever, you got a couple of pieces of candy. But I didn't have any candy at my station. So it was like,
because people were doing donuts.
okay, there are 4 or 5 people lined up. Okay, the winner gets another donut.
Yay!
There was one kid who had like 8 donuts. It was ridiculous.
I bet his parents were like, please no.
That was the best part when I said, okay, everybody, the prize is you get another donuts. And immediately I look at the parents' faces and they'd be like, oh, what are you doing? And then I chuckle because I didn't have to go home with them.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Someone was asking about mini folders.
Oh, okay.
Facebook.
Like these?
Ah.
Like the ones we have that we're supposed to use, but we always forget.
So, yeah, what was the question on Facebook? Wondering for a while now. I noticed you guys always freehand. Oh.
So I don't dislike holders. I just continuously forget we have them available.
Right. There is that.
They are in fact right in front of my face every single show we do.
But, yeah. I just, I've been painting for a long time, and I was kind of painting before holders were a thing. Certainly before holders were a popular thing. So I'm just used to not having a holder. I'm also going to say it's because my desk, my painting area at home is incredibly messy. So when I'm painting sort of 8 or 10 models at a time, I need a small area to put all them in.
Okay.
So if they're all, I know that there are a lot of people who have like multiple holders, and I think actually GW is just releasing a pack of 5 holders, which gives you a really cool.
See, I knocked the green, but
Is
the
it?
lid was closed.
Yes, good work. So yeah, we have them. We've used them occasionally, but yeah, again, it's not a dislike. It's just I never think to
That's fair.
put them on. I'm just used to it. Does that mean that sometimes I rub the paint off my Mini? Yep. But never to the point where I get so frustrated with it. So, however, if you do enjoy using paint Mini holders, that is totally cool too.
And actually,
Yeah.
before I forget, the winner.
Oh right. Oh yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So the winner of painting Happy Little Pumpkins. I do like how you crossed off minis and wrote pumpkins. Is at Doodle Masterpiece
Do we have it?
on Instagram.
Instagram? Do we have a photo?
It's a grammar.
Give me a second.
We'll get a photo of this wonderfully painted pumpkin. Thank you, everybody.
Keep talking.
Okay. And what did our fabulous prize winner win?
Betrayal and Betrayal Legacy.
Betrayal and Betrayal Legacy.
Excellent. So
Woo!
that's Betrayal. Is a house on the hill?
And the House of the Hill. I can never remember the phrasing, and I always want to say on Hill House,
Right.
and that's wrong.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So I'm just like the spooky one.
The spooky house one.
Yeah, the spooky house one.
See? Spooky
You've
houses.
won an entire haunted house. Come on down.
Awesome.
That would actually be a really funny film because, like, in Louisiana, like in New Orleans, you have to say whether a house is haunted.
Oh, okay.
So unlike other horror movies where they're like, no one died here for sure.
Right.
It'd be like, no, this is one haunted house. This is definitely haunted. So there would be no excuse. Like,
Yep. You know.
you'd know exactly what you got into right away.
So what you're saying is that I shouldn't buy a house in New Orleans. Are they all haunted or just
I don't
some of
think
them?
they're all haunted. I think you just have to, someone has to, it's by law. They have to tell
they have
you.
to. Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
It must be disclosed.
Okay, here is the picture.
Cool. Let's check that out. Oh wow.
Oh, I love it
Awesome.
so much.
Sorry about the login, but that's what it is.
Right.
She actually painted that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is
That's
awesome.
insane. That's such a good pumpkin.
Yep.
Man, I wish I would have done more for my pumpkin now.
Me too. I wish you'd done more for your pumpkin. Just kidding. I think your pumpkin was way better than mine. Excellent. No, congratulations. That pumpkin was awesome. Maybe we should have a Thanksgiving one. Paint a turkey.
I was going to say pie.
Paint a pie. Oh, make a pie.
Yeah.
Have we have a pie competition? What do you think, Leona?
Yes.
Should we have a pie
I don't know
competition?
how to like get minis all up in that, but
Okay, and what you need to do, you need to make 2 versions of the pie. You need to make a small one that you can
a
paint.
mini pie.
You have to make a mini pie. And then you have to make a large one that when you're finished, you send to us. So we can also judge it for flavor.
I feel like Jason Miller would have one up on the competition. He's a baker.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
But I also feel like that means he needs to send in good pies.
Right, more pies?
More pies.
Yep. So I think we should definitely do that. But no, congratulations. And I think that was cool. That was fun.
That was good times.
Yes. But yes, we'll put our heads together and we'll come up with the Thanksgiving pie competition, which would be
I like the
Very
idea
cool.
of incorporating mini pies somehow.
mini pies. Yeah. Well, initially I was going to say, and you make a mini pie and send us that one. But really,
Eating happy little mini pies.
really, just send us the big one. That'll be fine. I think this guy's coming along pretty well as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my swamp creature.
Excellent.
He's turning out really good. Let me finish up a little bit of some highlights going on here, and then I'll put them under the spinner.
How's the blending going?
Blending's going really good.
Excellent.
Much better than I previously thought my blending was going to go. So,
That's cool.
whole thing is considered.
Okay. There we go. He's getting a little bit focused now on making sure that he's the dark glasses, which is another classic thing of the sign that you're talking to an invisible man.
Are there signs that you're talking to invisible men? Should
Sure.
I? What are the signs you're talking to an invisible man, Dave?
You can't see their hands. They may be pretending that they're in their pockets, but they'll have dark glasses on over their ski mask.
So either it's an invisible man or you're being robbed.
Well, you see, if you're being robbed, they won't have glasses on over the ski mask. You'll be able to see their eyes and see that section of their face.
Ah.
But if they're an invisible man, it'll be sunglasses. So that you don't see that there's nothing to see.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Pecan pie.
Ooh, pecan pie.
Pecan
so
pies.
good. All right.
Yep.
All right, let me finish up his little angry face brow,
Okay.
because that got a little distorted when I did his glowy eyes. But then, I think he actually came along really nicely.
Cool. What are we looking at? I think I have just enough time to paint the base on him. The all-important base, so you know where he's standing in the game. There we go. So you can tell that we're getting down to the final minutes of the show.
The concentration.
Yeah. To make
This
sure we get it
I
done in
actually
time.
finished one this time though. I'm very happy.
No, it's definitely good.
I'm getting faster, stronger, Dave.
Stronger. Better, faster, stronger. We have the technology. We can rebuild her. There we
I
go.
was a robot all along.
Where is he on there? Oh.
Okay. Are you just gonna do a black base? Or are you gonna do a? Did you do?
Yeah, just black base.
That's a
Yeah,
good
oh, do you
idea.
want to do that?
Yeah,
Here you go.
I'll make a batch.
Oh, here. Oh,
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can. He's
I'll paint it for you.
done. He's good.
cool. That looks awesome. Yeah, show him under the close cam here.
Give me a second.
Oh. And there we go. Oh, spooky! Ah! Okay, I'll hold him up close. There we go. Yeah, check that out. Very nice. Very cool work. Yeah, I think that that work there in between when you're like around here, that's looking really good. Very cool. And I think he's super scary. Oh.
Just bah, bah. That's
Yeah.
probably not the noise he makes, but.
No, I think there's a little bit of a quack in it.
He's like,
Quack, quack. See here now, hey? I do not think that the creature from the Black Lagoon is
He just
selling
wants
selling
he
Affleck.
just wants to sell you insurance.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Maybe a little bit.
If you're out alone at night near a lake and you just hear,
Affleck. Oh, creature. Creature,
It's
creature,
the
creature.
creature from the Black Lagoon. That's just his call.
That's the call. The call of the creature. Nice.
Sounds like my cat.
That's awesome. Very cool. I think this has been a lot of fun messing around with the classic horror monsters of.
All right, we're finished
The
on
silver
time
screen.
today, so we get to have cupcakes.
Wait, what? There's
I'm
cupcakes?
bringing it on Gretchen's side, so.
Yeah, well,
Oh, it's because you know I'd eat them all. Is that
Yes.
right?
no. There, I made them, and they are nice and sloshed around from having been in my car during stop and go traffic.
Right.
And
show them under your overhead.
I can do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Check these out. They look really cool. Don't bite until you see the whites of their eyes.
Hold on, if I can get the thing open.
You can do it.
Oh, that's true. Here.
Oh.
Ta-da! Ooh, they look so good under the camera.
I like that good hair too. I would like a cupcake, please.
Here you go, Dead Dave.
Cool. I'm gonna pick this one. Oh, yep. Nice and gooey. Oh, that's super tasty too.
That is cream cheese frosting and a gummy eyeball
Oh, okay.
and white chocolate vanilla cupcakes.
Cool. Did you make the eyeball?
I did not. I was going
Okay.
to. I was going to get Lindt truffles and
Yep.
paint eyeballs on them, but I ran out of time, and they were out of Lindt truffles for the white chocolate. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
They just had the mix packs, and I was.
I'm going
not
to
gonna-
that neighborhood.
I don't know which. They were out of a lot of them though. Like the
Right.
lint truffles,
Yep.
the entire shelf except for the mixed pack was taken.
Well, I understand that some people have a thing where it's like, okay, if I buy a bag of candy that I'm going to give away to trick-or-treaters, I'll also buy some candy for myself, kind of thing. Some people have that rule.
I like the idea that
don't know
there's
who it
some
is,
really
but-
classy person out there just like truffling.
Handing out the
Small
truffles.
children.
Yeah, truffling small children. That sounds terrible.
It's
It was with the
way-
action where you're like throwing the truffles at the children.
Nah.
Stay off my lawn. Here, take this incredibly expensive sweet.
Oh my goodness.
Very
All
cool.
right. Well,
There we go.
there
So-
we go. We've made it. We've painted. We've cupcaked. We've shared spooky stories.
We
We've
have.
said who the winner is.
We have.
I
We've done
think
all
that
of the
means it's
things.
time.
We've done all of the things.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Painting Happy Little Minis. I'm Gretchen,
I'm Dave.
and we'll see you at your friendly local game store.
Thanks for watching Painting Happy Little Minis. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new content.